Hello, 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 hello. Happy Tuesday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve. Well, it looks like it's showing 43 degrees and sunny today. Heat wave coming through. Oh, and Lucy jumped up to number 2 spot. Oh, you get all your bacon done, everybody? So tonight we'll have another big lineup, a lot of short videos. Oh boy. Well, I don't know how many will be in chat, but we'll be getting ready to start here a little bit early, so want to get going on a lot of stuff getting out. So a lot of people will probably be listening tonight. So it's only Ann and Lucy so far in chat. Four minutes.
On the first day of Christmas, our president gave to me an election national emergency. On the second day of Christmas, our president gave to me 2 executive orders and an election national emergency. On the third day of Christmas, our president gave to me full election transparency, 2 executive orders, and an election national emergency. On the fourth day of Christmas, our president gave to me paper poll books only, full election transparency, 2 executive orders, and an election national emergency. On the fifth day of Christmas, our president gave to me Tina Peters Free. Paper poll books only, full election transparency, 2 executive orders, and an election national emergency. On the sixth day of Christmas, our president gave to me hand-counted ballots, Tina Peters Free. Paper poll books only, full election transparency, 2 executive orders, and an election national emergency. On the seventh day of Christmas, our president gave to me only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots, Tina Peters Free. Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency. On the 8th day of Christmas, our president gave to me
Manageable precinct.
only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots. Tina Peters, free.
Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency.
On the 9th day of Christmas, our president gave to me no early voting.
Manageable precincts, only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots. Tina Peters, free.
Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency.
On the 10th day of Christmas, our president gave to me an end to mail-in ballots.
No early voting, manageable precincts, only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots. Tina Peters, free.
Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency. On the 11th day of Christmas, our president gave to me no ballots after Election Day.
An end to mail-in ballots.
No early voting, manageable precincts, only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots. Tina Peters, free.
Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency.
On the 12th day of Christmas, our president gave to me clean voter rolls.
No ballots after Election Day.
And end to mail-in ballots.
No early voting, manageable precincts, only citizens voting, hand-counted ballots. Tina Peters, free.
Paper poll books only.
Full election transparency.
2 executive orders.
And an election national emergency. And an election national emergency.
What do you think of that one? I thought that was a good one. Who we got? Jeff Arson. Welcome. Is this your first time in chat? Just be respectful. That's all I'm asking. And thanks for following. Paul, did you hear the first video? Better close up there. I got a video for you there, Paul. Coming up. All the people that was in understands that gold stuff. This came out on News Force just a second ago, guys. What do you guys think of this one? Supreme Court will let Trump deploy National Guard in Chicago. Oh, okay, thanks, Carol. Did you listen to the first video? Wonder what they're hiding in Chicago. Okay, go lay down, buddy. Did we ever play this?
Here because it's important. No one was at Joe Biden's inauguration. Remember this as we move forward with AutoPen and Russiagate. When you've already caught the guy, but you need to finish the military investigation, you force him to play the part under military control. What we witnessed was a necessary means to the end, which is starting to play out now. This country didn't vote for Joe Biden. Trump knew it, Joe knew it, they all knew it, and now the public's about to know it.
Only under 3 minutes.
I was there. I was right across the street when that all happened. I was right there on Constitution Ave when Biden was installed. No one was there. No crowd. Military occupation in Washington, D.C. National Guard all over the place, fencing.
Take two.
And here's the picture that I'm talking about of the guy and the girl next to him, the blonde girl to his left or to our left, with no bottom half of his body. They're all on the same level right there. There's no stairs. They filmed their parts of sitting in the audience, walking down the aisle, clapping, smiling, etc. Late at night, while no prominent government figures or celebrities were present. This is what a lot of us were seeing on the nights leading up to Biden's fake inauguration as we watched the cameras that shoot the White House and the Capitol building 24/7, 365. There were huge floodlights lighting up that stage. We could see humans, like bodies, moving around. Not many, maybe 20 or 30. Don't forget, everyone in D.C. was in a pandemic lockdown, so no one could go and stand at the gates of the Capitol building or the White House and squint their eyes and see for certain if anyone was actually there on that outdoor stage at the same moment it was projected onto our TV screens or cell phones. Pretty convenient. Now consider this. A lot of our military, National Guard, they say thousands of troops, were there. That means they know this. They were protecting the people or the videographers inside. That's a problem.
Oh, you see
or it's military control.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Thought that was interesting. I found this new lady on TikTok. She does short videos also.
Won't cover California. Well, y'all, I guess we had our good run here, right? Sources say that President Trump in a press conference announced that the $175 billion Golden Dome missile shield will cover all of the U.S. except for California. Yep, the Golden State got a free pass to fend for itself. Sources say that Trump declared we are going to have the most beautiful, most impenetrable dome that you have ever seen, promising that it will defend every inch of the U.S. except for California. Y'all, I guess we're going to let nature take its course over here. Sources say that when Trump was asked for clarification, he basically said, look, California made its choice when it did things like ban plastic straws and let entire communities be devastated by wildfire, sources say. If they're not into common sense defense, why should we waste our gold on them? California, did we just get the golden middle finger? Sources say that the Golden Dome is
It's pretty
inspired by Israel's Iron Dome and it is aimed to shield the U.S.
just
from
found her.
ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and wait for it, bad vibes too. The plan involves ground interceptors, satellites, with hopes to finish before the end of Trump's term. California's exclusion has really started to raise some eyebrows. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tried to smooth things over by saying, California's got a unique climate and terrain. The dome might not jive with their environmental policies. Sources say that California responded with mixed confusion and sarcasm. Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted, "We will build our own dome out of recycled materials, powered by solar energy. #Green Dome. If we can't beat them, we'll green them." He said that. Yeah. Sources say that Trump is not sweating it. If California wants protection, well, then they can pay for it, he stated. With his signature flair of, maybe they can hold a bake sale or something. We're busy focusing. Breaking news, California.
Okay, that's one. I got another one here. Yesterday's one.
For essentially everything, the United States government just came out with a release saying that they accidentally sent $6.2 billion over the billions that we've already sent over what they should have sent due to an accounting error. Swallow that, America. Because all you and I are is a goddamn piggy bank.
Right there, right on that.
These bureaucrats and people in government positions don't give two shits about us. They have a black credit card that they swipe and spend and swipe and spend and swipe and spend because we'll keep working making their fucking money.
I'm glad I found her.
$6.2 billion, you guys. Try to choke that down today when you're trying to pay your fucking bills. Do you know what we could have done in the United States with $6.2 billion? Try to have a good rest of your day. Breaking news, y'all.
Okay, that was a new lady on TikTok. Okay, I think I got Trish. Wait. Yeah, we'll get Trish in. And we'll get that one video.
We're up to 300,000 documents now. And Bill Clinton is prominently featured. Now, apparently, Donald Trump was in a picture and they had taken it out and now it's back in. There was a whole thing. And the Democrats were trying to run with that, saying, oh, you know, he wasn't in it. They deliberately did that. And as we now understand it, it was because there was some concern for the victims, et cetera. And now it's back in there. So much ado about nothing. But I would tell you that the one you really ought to be worried about would be Mr. Bill Clinton, because there are a lot of pictures like in swimming pools with young women. And this is awkward. I mean, just awkward. You should have seen Jamie Raskin trying to explain this one away on CNN over the weekend. I got to show you because it'll kind of just, I know, it'll make your skin crawl. But he, you know, he's trying to save face. And this is the most unbelievable place that he went. I'm going to share it now.
There were a number of pictures of former President Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell in a jacuzzi, swimming in a pool. How do you explain that connection, and are you comfortable with it?
I mean, I have no idea. This is why we want to get to the bottom of it and get all of the facts out to, to the public. I mean, that's what this is about. And, Look, there are clearly lots of
I'll
people
be
that
on
are in
tomorrow
photographs with
and
Jeffrey
taking
Epstein. He was very
Christmas
much
Day
of
off,
a socialite.
and I'll be on Friday. First
A
of the week.
socialite. All right, that's what we're going with. Hey, you know, he was a socialite. A socialite with Dems, apparently. A lot of Dems. I don't see as many Republicans, but, you know, he had a lot of Dem friends. So this is going to get awkward. It's going to get more and more awkward. But hey, you guys asked for this, right? I do recall you demanded this. I mean, hey, you had what? 4 years you could have gotten this stuff out in the open under Joe Biden, but you chose not to, which, by the way, told me something. I mean, for goodness sakes, 4 whole years. If the Epstein files were that important and your ticket to take Donald Trump down, you certainly tried everything else. Why didn't you give this one a whirl? Oh, because maybe it wouldn't have taken him down. Maybe it would have taken some people down that you didn't really want getting taken down.
To get that right.
The Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, was on NBC's weekend show making an interesting point about this timing, shall we say.
To be clear, releasing the files is not what President Trump has ever had an issue with. When he calls this a hoax, he's talking about the fact that there's this narrative out there that the Department of Justice is somehow hiding or protecting information about him, which is completely false, as evidenced by the fact that the Epstein files existed for years and years and years, and you did not hear a peep out of a single Democrat for the past 4 years. And yet we're supposed to believe that, lo and behold, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Senator Schumer suddenly cares about the Epstein files. That's the hoax. And that's the hoax that has existed for months and months and months. This isn't about whether we would release or not release the Epstein files. As a general matter, we do not release the files of criminal investigations and prosecutions. Yeah. There's laws around that. There's laws that protect victims, that protect the innocent. So we're doing something here that is more transparent than we've done in any criminal investigation in the history of this country. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So they're going out of their way to make sure all of this is coming out. Donald Trump actually thought that some people might not like having their names in there, the innuendo that's implied, and he wanted to make sure that people didn't get wrapped up in this unnecessarily. So he kind of was like trying to be a gentleman about it, but no, they didn't want, then all of a sudden they turned it around and said, well, it must be because he's somehow involved, when it turns out it's them. It's them, and it was always them. And so I don't know how they're going to get away with excusing this with Bill Clinton, but it's certainly pretty darn embarrassing for Billy Boy. And here's the deal. Before you guys say, oh, he has immunity, guess what? He doesn't. Okay, newsflash. This happened after he was out of the Oval Office. So while, yes, the Supreme Court ruled that you could do a few things while you are in the Oval Office and not be held accountable for it, that you do have presidential immunity then. If you commit crimes after you've been president, then whoa, it's open season. You're fair game. So Billy Boy could actually be in a whole lot of trouble now. And this is why he doesn't want to go in and testify, which opens him up to actually being thrown in jail in all seriousness, along with the wife. I mean, Hillary could go. After all, the orange pantsuit's going to make a comeback because they are insisting that they should not be testifying in the House inquiry into Epstein. But there are other people that said that they wouldn't testify. Remember? Steve Bannon, for one, with J6, he wouldn't testify. And then there was Peter Navarro, who also chose not to testify then. And I actually didn't feel that bad for those guys at the time, because I'm like, you get called to testify, and unless you get somebody who's going to give you a get out of jail free card, you're kind of going to be in the slammer because you're refusing to cooperate with Congress. I mean, you're going to be held in contempt, and that's that. All right, that's the rule. You didn't have Donald Trump to get you out. You didn't have anybody to help. You were going to go to jail. And so Peter and Steve, they knew that. But what about Hillary and Bill? Again, no immunity. Don't tell me he has immunity. He doesn't. This happened after he was president. So he's going to have to testify. And if he doesn't, he's going to have to go to jail. I mean, I don't see any other way around it. So, Bill, Hillary, I'd line up the lawyers and I'd start figuring out your story. fast because those pictures aren't pretty. You definitely don't want to see him in a swimsuit. Trust me. Like that, we can do without that, right? Anyway, Bill and Hillary are going to be facing a lot of.
Okay, that's another good one from Trisha. Okay, Paul, and people that understand the gold and stuff. This one will be about 12 minutes. I can find it. Where'd it go?
Simultaneously triggered emergency protocols, not because of the price itself, but because of what $67 means under a rule change most people have never heard of.
Let me know.
For the next 72 hours, these banks have three options. Post $891 billion in cash collateral, begin forced liquidation of 421 million ounces they don't actually have, or trigger the first banking crisis of 2026 before Christmas even arrives. The countdown has 48 hours left. Here's what you need to understand. This is not about silver going up because people want it. This is about a mathematical trap that was set 3 years ago, a tripwire buried in commodity exchange rules that nobody paid attention to, and 8 of the world's largest banks now caught in a position they mathematically cannot escape. The invisible tripwire sits at exactly $67.25 per ounce. Let me show you why that number matters, more than any other price point in financial markets right now. Back in March 2023, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, that's COMEX, where silver futures trade, quietly implemented something called Rule 4.07b, Enhanced Margin Liquidation Protocol. You can find it buried in Section 4.07b, subsection 3 of their rulebook. The language reads like legal sedative, but here's what it actually says. When volatility-adjusted price movements exceed 285% from weighted average short position entry points for systemically important participants, 100% margin collateral is required within 72 business hours. Translation for normal humans: if major banks shorted silver at $22 to $25 per ounce between 2020 and 2023, and the price hits 3.85 times their entry point, they're forced to post full cash collateral or automatically liquidate their positions within 3 days. Why did COMEX create this rule? Because they're still haunted by March 2020, when retail investors on Reddit and Wall Street Silver nearly broke the entire commodities exchange. They almost succeeded in forcing physical delivery that COMEX couldn't fulfill. Regulators watched that near-death experience and decided they needed automatic circuit breakers to force early liquidation before positions become too big to unwind. The irony is almost poetic. The rule designed to prevent a squeeze now guarantees one, because it forces all 8 trapped banks to buy at exactly the same time. Here's the math that created the $67 kill switch. The average bank short entry price was $22.40 per ounce, weighted from CFTC bank participation reports between 2020 and 2023. 285% above that entry point would be $86.24. But these banks didn't short silver with cash. They used margin leverage, averaging about 3.2 to 1. When you factor in that leverage, the effective trigger point drops dramatically. 40 times 3.85 divided by their 3.2 leverage ratio with a 2.5 regulatory buffer gives you $67.25 per ounce. Silver hit, the tripwire crossed. Now let's talk about the 8 institutions currently trapped in this mathematical vice. According to the December 2025 CFTC Bank Participation Report, here's what we're looking at. JP Morgan Chase holds 97.3 million ounces short with losses at $67 of 4.35 billion. HSBC Holdings has 78.6 million ounces short, 3.51 billion in losses. Scotiabank sits at 62.1 million ounces, 2.77 billion underwater. BNP Paribas holds 51.4 million ounces with 2.29 billion in losses. UBS Group has 44.8 million ounces short for 2 billion in losses. Deutsche Bank carries 39.2 million ounces, 1.75 billion underwater. Citigroup holds 28.7 million ounces with 1.28 billion in red ink. And Goldman Sachs has 18.9 million ounces short with 843 million in losses. Add it together, and you get 421 million ounces of short positions with current losses of $18.79 billion. But that's just the surface damage. These short positions aren't isolated bets. They hedge much larger gold and silver derivative books. The total notional value of linked derivatives across these 8 banks, $891 billion. If the silver shorts fail, the cascade affects commodity index funds, pension inflation hedges, sovereign wealth fund commodity allocations, and mining company hedging contracts. This isn't just about silver, it's about interconnected financial plumbing that spans the global banking system. For 4 years, these banks have successfully contained silver through a pattern so consistent you could set your watch by it. Whenever silver threatened to break higher, especially approaching month-end or option expiry, banks would dump massive paper contracts, not physical silver, just promises to deliver silver to crash the price. It worked because they could create unlimited paper silver through futures contracts. They were shorting something they never intended to deliver, betting they could always roll positions forward and suppress the price indefinitely. Then something changed. In December 2025, physical demand overwhelmed paper suppression. The banks can't suppress what they can't deliver, and they just discovered that physical demand now exceeds their paper manipulation capacity, which brings us to the 72-hour countdown and the impossible choice. And I need you to understand why none of them work. Option A, post $891 billion in cash collateral. This requires liquidating other assets to raise cash, treasury bonds, corporate debt, equity holdings. The problem is obvious. Selling $891 billion in assets in 72 hours crashes those markets. It creates what's called a doom loop. Forced selling drops prices, which triggers margin calls elsewhere, which requires more forced selling. We saw this in March 2020 when the Treasury market froze and the Fed had to intervene with $2.3 trillion in emergency liquidity. That was for a fraction of the selling pressure we're talking about now. Option B, forced liquidation through buying 421 million ounces to close short positions. Here's where the math becomes impossible. Only 47.2 million ounces exist in COMEX registered vaults as of December 18th. That's 11% of what they need. When demand is 9 times supply, historical squeezes show 8 to 15 times price multipliers. $67 times 8 equals 536 per ounce. 67 times 15 equals 1,005 per ounce. The realistic range for forced buying over 10 trading days, $380 to $720 per ounce. Option C, negotiate an emergency extension. This requires the CFTC to issue an emergency order suspending Rule 4.07b. But CFTC emergency orders require a 48-hour public comment period, which doesn't fit the 72-hour window. Even if they waive that requirement, the market impact is devastating. Suspending forced liquidation rules signals the market is broken, which triggers investor panic and a surge in physical buying. The CFTC has never suspended forced liquidation rules in its history because doing so would destroy market credibility permanently. There's a hidden option D that's probably most likely. Controlled demolition. Banks negotiate with COMEX and the CFTC for orderly liquidation over 30 days instead of 3. Partial cash settlement, partial physical delivery, partial contract rollovers. The price still explodes to the $150 to $250 range, but it's stretched over a month instead of a week. So here's where we are. 8 banks are trapped in 421 million ounces of short positions they can't cover in a market with only 47 million ounces available. They have 48 hours to post $891 billion in cash or begin buying silver that doesn't exist. And unlike 2008, there's no print money and bail them out solution because you can't print silver. The 72-hour countdown is running. Every option ends in a price explosion. The only question is how fast and how high.
They're very nervous right now for where silver's at. Because this is very uncomfortable for them. It's never been this high. So the bullion banks, they specifically.
Well, it has to, but the math is not. See, that's annual 2 verse.
I know.
Well, it did not. Goes through that. It's just going to explode like.
Sorry, you guys. I had to stop that because I don't like Nino and Bo Pony. They've been wrong for 5 years. So I got half the video. That other guy was better to listen to than those other two.
Up. That's handled by I don't know.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. The DOJ is dripping out all of the Epstein documents, and we are learning quite a bit. They've already released quite a few photos of Bill Clinton in compromising position with a bunch of young girls in hot tubs, potentially naked on the beach. Ooh, baby. Donald Trump saying that the Democrats are going to learn that this is going to be the biggest backfire in political history. And now we're learning that Jeffrey Epstein was, without question, a Intel agent or a Mossad agent for sure. Just one of many examples of that is a passport. He had what looks like to be hundreds of different passports, and many of them under names that were not his. And domiciles that were not his, right? So here it says that he is a resident of Saudi Arabia and that his name is Marius Robert Fortellini. Look at that. So it's like Jeffrey Epstein going on, being presented to the Austrian authorities as a foreigner who lives in Saudi Arabia and maybe like Italian. He has dozens of these. I don't know if he has hundreds, but he has dozens of these. How many people have dozens of passports without their real names? The dude was a spy. It's become plainly obvious. And then when you realize that he was a spy and that he was working maybe for Mossad, I mean, he did have a bunch of IDF shirts, right? Maybe our own intel agencies, you have to assume the CIA, because it was, operating Little St. James right off of America. The CIA is a clandestine organization. They want to run ops in foreign countries. They could do that in the British Virgin Islands, right off the coast of the United States of America. Were they working with Jeffrey Epstein? You have to assume they were. That's all but confirmed now. But ladies and gentlemen, the mystery still stands. Who has the power to kill someone in the federal penitentiary system, right? To turn off the cameras and to commit murder.
Harry.
This is, of course, why the Jeffrey Epstein case is so famous, why we're even having this moment right now, is because obviously the way that he died was as mysterious as the way that he lived. The missing minute in Jeffrey Epstein's jail security video revealed in document dump. House committee releases video, and you can see that they didn't release the full video. I mean, again, everybody's seen this garbage footage. You could see that it was clipped, that it was potentially edited. You couldn't actually see the entryway to his cell block, and Jeffrey Epstein's death remains a mystery. Epstein document dump blows huge hole in Pam Bondi's missing minute theory. Pressure mounts for Trump to disclose the truth. Well, then the House passed an order to force them to reveal the truth, and got some weird stuff here, man. I mean, even Fox News here is saying that, like, Pam Bondi's explanation doesn't make any sense. Fox News Digital combined two clips of the latest release Tuesday night showing there was indeed no lapse in the footage, contradicting Pam Bondi's previous explanation that the footage is deleted every single night. Many people were like just left scratching their heads, saying the explanation of the footage inside of the prison makes absolutely no sense. And it certainly doesn't lead to the conclusions that like a Dan Bongino had here in this famous Fox clip, where he says,
he killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Okay, but like we haven't seen the whole file, and there's nothing conclusively that says that he killed himself has ever been released until now. Interesting. Check this out. This is footage that was released with the Jeffrey Epstein files by the DOJ. And this went thermonuclear viral in my timeline yesterday as people say, wait a second, the DOJ actually has footage inside of his cell of him killing himself. Well, this is kind of what we've been waiting for. Is this what Dan Bongino was talking about? That there's actual legitimate footage of him every second in his cell showing nobody entered, nobody exited, that Jeffrey Epstein did somehow manage to strangle himself to death so successfully that he broke his own neck bones, something that is virtually impossible. But he led a mysterious life, and so maybe this is just one of the great mysteries, how he was able to do this. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the footage that was released yesterday, and everyone was shocked that it was in the official DOJ release. It then got quickly deleted and got quickly bricked out
You too,
on
everybody
the
else too, Terry.
Epstein release data.
I'll
Right,
be
that
on
was
tomorrow,
quick.
Thursday,
Right, you could see it got like completely. The new video of Epstein attempting suicide has been blocked by the DOJ website. Right, everyone's saying, "Oh, they released it on accident. The link didn't work." Okay, what was this exactly? Well, it turns out that this is actually not footage of the inside of the cell. And I would have been very thankful, frankly, to have had that kind of demonstrable evidence of what actually happened in the cell. DOJ releases shocking fake video of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide as part of document dumps. This is a fake video. You can see right here that it was uploaded to YouTube about 5 years ago. So this is it right here. It's like, this is like a computer generated, right? So it's not actually real footage at all. It just is sort of a pretty low quality computer rendering of the act of what perhaps this user thought was what a suicide attempt would look like for Jeffrey Epstein. But nobody understands like exactly why the DOJ would have this file and why they would release it. The DOJ on Monday released shocking footage that appeared to be a recreation of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide in his Manhattan jail. It briefly set the internet on fire. It was revealed to be fake. The video was posted without explanation in the Justice Department website with footage found the latest item of the trove of documents that had been released via the order from the House of Representatives. The grainy 12-second computer-generated clip, white-haired man in an orange jumpsuit struggling to jerk his head around, effectively trying to kill himself. People thought this was legitimate. It isn't. Timestamp on the video, 2 hours before the pedophile's body was found in the cell. The scene on the video seemed to match Epstein's cell, where officials determined that he hanged himself while awaiting a trial for a litany of sex trafficking charges. So again, why would the mystery here is why would the DOJ release it? Why would they do this? Still doesn't make any sense. So why does, I mean, here are real photos of Jeffrey Epstein's cell. It does kind of mirror it. But as always, as we've asked regularly here, why are there so many linens in Jeffrey Epstein's cell? There's so many pill bottles. Why does he have so much stuff in this cell? Isn't he on suicide watch? What the hell's going on here? Nothing about this makes sense, and it's unclear why it was included in the DOJ files. Strange. You can see here that it can no longer be found in the DOJ files. Page not found. Okay. People are making fun of it, right? Like making videos like this. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's Hillary. Oh, no. They finally got her. And it really makes you wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump sounding off yesterday on this, saying, it's backfiring on Democrats. I don't like it, but it's backfiring on Democrats, and Bill Clinton's a total creep. Fact check true. Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. President. Were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton in the Epstein files? And can you commit to their
By
full?
what?
And were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton in the Epstein files? And can you commit to their full release by the end of the year? Some of the victims were protesting that too many of them were redacted.
I know there are a lot of people that are angry about all of the pictures of other people, but I think it's terrible. Look, I like Bill Clinton. I've always gotten along with Bill Clinton. I've been nice to him. He's been nice to me. We've always gotten along. Respect him. I hate to see photos come out of him, but this is what the Democrats, mostly Democrats, and a couple of bad Republicans are asking for. So they're giving their photos of me too. Everybody was friendly with this guy, either friendly or not friendly, but he was around. He was all over Palm Beach and other places. The head of Harvard was his best friend, Larry Summers. And Bill Clinton was a friend of his, but everybody was. I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago.
Hey, Michelle.
And as a person that was in Mar-a-Lago, I threw him out. Mar-a-Lago, this is Mar-a-Lago. It's the hottest place I think it's the hottest place in the world, but it's the hottest place in Florida. And everybody would come here. He'd come here. We actually threw him out. But no, I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown. I don't like the pictures of other people being shown. I think it's a terrible thing. I think Bill Clinton's a big boy. He can handle it. But you probably have pictures being exposed of other people that innocently met Jeffrey Epstein many years ago. And they're, highly respected bankers and lawyers and others.
Okay. Benny with the Hillary Texas update.
Voter rolls. Secretary of State Jay Nelson saying the potential non-citizens were flagged through a recent federal database cross-check. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. So Texas used a tool recently given to states from the Trump administration to verify the citizenship, Jeff, of those on its voter rolls. Tell us more.
Earlier this year, President Trump ordered DHS to give states direct access to its SAVE database, which allows election officials to confirm voter citizenship against immigration and naturalization records. Texas then used that tool to cross-check its registered voters. Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson announcing this week a cross-check of the state's 18 million registered voters against federal citizenship records in the SAVE database found over 2,700 possible illegal immigrants registered on its voter rolls. The SAVE database has proven to be a critically important data set and one of the many that we will continue to use in Texas to ensure that only qualified voters cast a ballot in our elections.
That is quite a change from prior administrations, which always put up red tape and tried to prevent this.
The findings now leading to an eligibility review across the state's 254 counties. Governor Greg Abbott also chiming in, saying since Senate Bill 1 was passed in 2021, which introduced new voter roll restrictions, over 1 million ineligible registrations have been removed. We will continue to actively safeguard Texans' sacred right to vote while also aggressively protecting our elections from illegal voting. The announcement in Texas comes amid growing national scrutiny of voter rolls. Georgia, Arizona, and Florida conducting similar audits. Spagovsky telling us Virginia is also taking notice.
They announced that since 2014, they had removed more than 10,000 aliens from their voter rolls.
Plus in Ohio, election officials announcing earlier this year it's removing thousands of inactive voters SAVE identified as deceased. And in Louisiana, officials identifying 79 likely non-citizens who voted in at least one election since the 1980s.
I know for certain that there are other states like California and New York who have no interest in this.
Now, Texas was among the first states to partner with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to compare its voter list with that SAVE database. Nelson says each flagged voter has 30 days to provide proof of citizenship.
Hey, Texas voting. I got an 8-minute one on Aaron about the lady that helped the kids from that Australia. Oh. What is?
Journey Dadon from Chabad for Israelis, and they are joined by Aaron Molen.
8 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming. It gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who clearly needs no introduction, the incredibly brave teenager, yes, Haya. Another round of applause, please, for this incredible woman. And of course, her amazing parents who are so immensely proud. Haya, I want you to take us back to the moment a week ago. You had found cover. There wasn't much of it. You chose to leave what was a relatively safe space to save other people's lives, children's lives. Why?
Like, that's the answer. Those people, those children were like, I felt so connected to them the whole time. And that's the thing about the Jewish people. Like, I saw those kids and they were mine. They were my kids. And I knew whatever I was going to do, I was going to do it for them.
So you are extraordinarily brave, very mature, but you are human. you must have been terrified. Can you talk to me about that fear that had to have been there and how you overcame that?
The thing is, I didn't feel not 1 inch of my body scared because, like, I hadn't even practiced this in the past or anything, but I genuinely felt like, not even a metaphor, like physically, I felt God holding my hand and whispering, like I heard the words. I don't know if I was going crazy or something, but I heard the words. He was saying, this is it. This is your mission. This is your purpose. Because the Jewish people, obviously, a lot of you guys know, big concept of Judaism is having a purpose and having a meaning to be in this world. And in that moment, I felt so like directed in the right direction. And I was like, there's no going back. There's no not doing it. There's no maybe doing it. I'm doing it. And nothing was getting into my way.
I want to ask you now how your world has changed over the past week. And I'm sure, in fact, I'm not even going to put words into your mouth because you just told me you felt no fear. So I'm going to actually just ask you, how has your world changed? I'm sure in good ways and in bad.
Someone actually asked me out the other day, they were like, do you feel like you're famous now? And I was like, they were like, do you like it? And I was like, I don't like being famous. I like the reason people are understanding me, the reason people are stopping me on the street. I love being that inspiration for people and being that light in this tunnel of just darkness, pure evil. And that's the part that made me realize, like, this is why I'm sharing my story, to be that light and to share all of this with all of you amazing people. And I just want to say I love you all.
Hey,
I'm not done.
Haya asked me just off stage then if we could be television best friends, but I feel a little bit threatened, to be honest, so I'm not sure I'm ready to him. She's too good. Haya, last question for you. What is your message to Australians? And I know there are so many here who are Jewish and there's so many here who are not Jewish, who care deeply about your community and about you. What do you want to say to Australia?
The thing is, I have so many quotes and so many inspirational lines that just popped into my head. Like, I have so many things, so many lessons that I've been taught, so many so many ideas and concepts, obviously like the basis of Judaism. And then I'm like, that's it. Like, I know I said this before, but all of the, the learning and all of the everything that led to this moment. And in that moment, I was like, this is it. Be that light. If you guys get inspired by one thing at all, be the light in that field of darkness. And you know what? They're just going to make us stronger. I said this, I'm sure a lot of you heard this, but I said this so many times. They think by doing that, we're going to be obviously mourning, but we're getting stronger as a nation, and we're growing, and like sometimes growing hurts, but we're growing and life is going to move on, and why not make the best of it?
Not 2 minutes, you guys.
That is absolutely beautifully said. She's an incredible young woman. Before we go, I just wanted to say something quickly. When I was at school, I learnt about the impact that Jew hatred can have on a community, and I learnt about bystanders who said and did nothing. In 100 years, our children's children and their children's children will learn about what happened here at Bondi last Sunday. They'll learn about the terror. They'll learn about the tragedy. They'll learn about the names of those we lost. They'll also learn about stories like yours of heroism, stories like Ahmed's, stories of Kelly, of everyone who ran in to help the police. They'll also learn, and just as importantly, what we did next as a nation. And may that be moral courage, strength, leadership.
Amen.
May that be the silent majority in this country standing up and roaring to life. May it not be moral cowardice, and may it not be more failure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I thought that was very important there to get out.
a pivotal lawsuit that was being brought against Alvin Bragg and Judge Merchan there in Manhattan. The lawsuit was being brought by Attorney General Bailey out of Missouri. His reason for suing them was clearly stated that they had suppressed the election, or they were attempting to suppress the election. They were attempting to circumvent the will of the people of Missouri by placing their thumb on the scale of justice and placing their thumb on the scale of the election, attempting to thwart Donald Trump's ability to campaign. I thought it was a brilliant argument, and I also thought that it was important that someone hold these people accountable, attempting to use the law to manipulate the outcome of an election. But there was another lawsuit that was brought before that one that hasn't gotten near the notoriety, but it's actually making waves. So there was a lawsuit that was brought by an organization called Condemned USA. Okay, the founder is a guy by the name of Trennis Evans. Now, he is actually coming at them for criminal acts and saying that they violated a code, U.S. Code Title 18, Section 242. Simply put, he's saying that it addresses the deprivation of rights under the color of the law. And unfortunately for them, this carries severe penalties. He's saying that they knowingly deprived Donald Trump of his constitutional rights. And he argued that this should warrant life in prison. This code is no joke. Now, he's had several opportunities to speak on this and several opportunities to answer certain briefs, and it is progressing through the channels and is actually currently now in the Fifth Circuit. He is definitely not playing around, but he also understands and has said this isn't about whether or not they get put in jail. This is more about them being put on notice that we are not going to continue to tolerate activist judges, activist prosecutors attempting to make a name and break the law on the backs of the American people. Taking away people's constitutional rights in order to push their own political agenda is wrong. And he has made that very clear. I'm so thankful for patriots like this that are willing to step outside of their comfort zone. This is a very brave man to step out and go against powers like this. He notes that this was made all possible by the Justice Department, Biden's Justice Department, and he specifically targets the Matthew Colangelo hiring, or IMQ, a couple of weeks.
Okay, that was the first Q one. I got the lady from Minnesota, 4-minute one.
I got one for you. Okay, so back in the early 90s, George H.W. Bush decided to start settling.
I played that one already. Sorry about that one, you guys. We'll get on to this. We'll play the second Q video.
Heart be troubled. I believe that change is coming. I believe that we have good things on the horizon. Today, the High Court in New York did the unthinkable. And it gave me great hope. Now, I'm going to need you guys to listen very, very closely because I don't want the hate mail that's going to come as a result of what I have to say. I am not condoning any person's evil doings. I am simply on the side of the law. So today we got word that Harvey Weinstein, that his conviction was overturned in the New York High Court. They got it right. They did the right thing. For way too long, New York prosecutors, for sake of political expedience, for sake of getting ahead
and for sake of having a perfect conviction record, have run fast and loose with the laws, have used certain tactics to introduce evidence that was not significant or not allowed for the case. And these rogue judges have allowed it to take place. And so this panel of mostly women, if you guys remember, Harvey Weinstein was convicted of doing some awful, evil, nasty things to women. And I don't condone that at all. But even Harvey Weinstein in the United States deserves a fair trial. If you have the evidence to convict the man, convict him, but do not stack the deck against anyone. Because what happens is, if we are okay with them stacking the deck against evil people like Harvey Weinstein, eventually that will be turned on us, just like it was with Trump. I keep on telling you, these cases that have ruled against Trump, with E. Jean Carroll, with the case up in with Letitia James, I keep on telling you, this is going to be overturned. There are so many cases that this high court has overturned. So many cases. In fact, there's investigations into the judges, because they say the judges are using their power to influence jurors. And so by allowing and not allowing certain things to be said and done procedurally, they are influencing the jurors. And so they said that this was an egregious act, that Harvey Weinstein deserves a new and fair trial. So he's going to go back to trial. But they said that the fact that there were unmaterial witnesses. What's up, family? Welcome back to Truthville, USA. I am Q.
Okay. Minutes.
And mayonnaise and white rice and yogurt, all just white, milky, pasty, corrupt, fake valor, almost our vice president. Welcome to Doug in Exile. If you're not happy that this guy isn't our vice president, then I just gave you some insight on what should bring a smile to your face. Here's more heat brought on Tim Walz by James Comer just today, just posted. New, I'm expanding the GOP oversights investigation into massive fraud uncovered in Minnesota under Governor Walz's watch. It's time for Minnesota officials to appear before Congress for transcribed interviews. Now, he's going after the officials because that's how you lead to Tim Walz. You can't just go in and take out the king. You got to build the case by getting all the rats to rat him out first. Democrats turned a blind eye to his fraud, and Republicans won't. So here's from the Oversight Committee. Breaking: Chairman Comer seeks testimony from several key Minnesota officials on our probe of fraud and waste in Minnesota under Tim Walz's watch. He's requested SARs from Secretary Bessent and a staff-level briefing from the Department of Justice. We will not fund terrorists. So this is about the Somali money that got laundered out to yet another terrorist organization. I'll only say Vice President Vance hit Governor Walz pretty hard, his fellow vice president who he was running against. Here's J.D. Vance mopping the floor with Tim Walz.
And this is the moral truth we strive to center in our work in the Trump administration and in this great movement of ours. A true Christian politics, it cannot just be about the protection of the unborn or the promotion of the family, as important as those things absolutely are. It must be at the heart of our full understanding of government. Why do we penalize corporations that ship American jobs overseas? Because we believe in the inherent dignity of human work and every person who works a good job in this country. Why?
Applause line. Okay.
Why have we worked without the help of Congress to restrict H-1B visas, for example? Because we believe it is wrong for companies to bypass American labor just to go for cheaper options in the third world.
Well said. Legislator Green opposes him on this, by the way.
We help older Americans in retirement, including by ending taxes on Social Security, because we believe in honoring your father and mother rather than shipping all of their money off to Ukraine.
Oh, that's the biggest applause, Lord.
We believe in taking care of the poor, which is why we have Medicaid, so that the least among us can afford their prescriptions or to take their kids to see a doctor. And it's why we are outraged at the injustice of Tim Walz allowing Somalian immigrants to defraud that program to the tune of billions of dollars. It ought to go to Americans because that's who it's there for.
Okay, on that one, he brought the House down against Tim Walz. And Tim Walz, remember, he's laundering fraud. This is fraud. It's all fraud. And he's robbing your taxpayer dollars to pay for Somali immigrants. And he admits it here on camera. This was posted by Libs of TikTok and then reposted by Juanita Broderick, the gal that Clinton gave her a black eye and bit her lip.
We know there is no separating Minnesota of who we are from our Somali brothers and sisters. It is such a part of it is part of who we are. It's such a good part of who we are in every aspect of our life. And the opportunity that we have in Minnesota, as we said, to make sure there is no reason that every single person in Minnesota has to go to bed hungry at night. We have the ability to feed everyone, to make sure every child goes to school. There's no reason to have lunch tickets and lunch counters and lunch money and that. We have the ability to provide universal meals for breakfast and lunch to every single person. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to house every Minnesotan with investments to make sure that they're culturally appropriate ways that we can make sure we lend and have the ability to build housing to transfer wealth down through generationally. And there's absolutely no reason that anyone in Minnesota, especially our children, shouldn't have the option for affordable quality health care. We have the best providers in the world, and we have the capacity to do that. I want to thank our
free food, free housing, and free medical for illegal Somalis. That's the Tim Walz plan.
Friends in the legislature, I know Steve Elkins is here and others. We have a budget that reflects those values. We have a budget that reflects the care that you see in this room and the sense of community. So I, along with you, as I'm thinking and reflecting on what kind of world do we want to live in, I'm just grateful that there's folks here that are trying to make that world a reality, that are coming together and showing the strength that we have.
He's trying to build a world, guys. He wants a world to become a reality that is fraud. Remember, anytime a Democrat's talking about children, save the children, help the children, we help the poor. Remember, we know already they don't care. They specifically don't care about the hard taxpayers who paid into those systems, and they want to take the money from those benefits. I mean, how many of you live in Minnesota and are getting free housing, healthcare, food? No, you're going to pay for someone else. You go get to work and you pay for it. That's the big Democrat plan. Wait, there's more. From Fox News. Social media erupts after Minnesota Attorney General posts about cracking down on fraud. They say, you're kidding, right? Keith Ellison, he's the AG, roundly mocked as $9 billion in fraud scandal rocks Minnesota. So earlier today, I said how Gavin Newsom has billions of dollars of scandal in California in his fraud. Look for that thumbnail. And I was saying he even makes Tim Walz look bad, which is only $300 million in food stamps fraud. Well, now it's getting back up to the $9 billion amount. Here we go. Minnesota's Attorney General was widely mocked by conservatives on social media over the weekend for a social media post touting the work to crack down on fraudsters. At the same time, a massive fraud scandal that could total up to $9 billion has exploded in the state over the last several years. This is like that scene in Casablanca where the guy comes in and he goes to Rick's bar and he goes, I'm shocked that there's gambling going on in this establishment. I'm shocked. This is Keith Ellison is shocked that fraud's going on. He goes, we're going to get right on it. That's the fox guarding the hen house, guys. Or as Sam Kinison used to say, he goes, rock against drugs. That's like Christians against Christ. Democrats against fraud. Are you kidding? That's their whole payroll. That's how they get by. Quote, scammers thought Minnesotans were easy targets, unquote. I wonder why they thought that. Democrat Keith Ellison, who's been Minnesota Attorney General since 2019, so this falls directly on his watch, posted on X on Friday in a message that is approaching 1 million views because of the heat. Quote, they were wrong. from student loan scams to fake utility callers. We shut them down this year fast. Doing a heck of a job, Keith. Ellison's video where he promoted various wins cracking down on robocalls and online scams was blasted online by those pointing out the fraud scandal involving government agencies and welfare programs that has rocked the state under his watch. I just want you guys to notice this is the Democrat brand now. This is Tim Walz's brand. This is Ilhan Omar's brand, is fraud. And people that are mocking them off the stage, even as they go, we're here to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. No, you're not. The only way to fix it is to never, let's hear it in the chat, never put an X next to a Democrat. Not.
Okay, that's the first, Doug. This next one is the older guy that he was on TikTok a while back, and I don't know if you remember or I do. Just let me know. I'll stop him. If you guys don't want to listen to him. It's 10 minutes. But here's a quick photo I want to show. There's a photo there. Bernie, do you swear in? Mada, whatever his name is left prepared to carve up the New York taxpayers.
It's Tuesday morning. It's early. I've had a crappy couple of days, as you know, with what I've been going through. But what fucking annoys me even more is I hear over 1,000 fucking illegals arrived by boat over the past week into the UK, all greeted with a warm little cuddle and a fucking cup of hot tea, taken to their lovely accommodation, given free food, free lodging at my expense, your expense, the British taxpayers' expense. And now they're going to open up a former military training site in Crowborough, right in the middle of beautiful Sussex, East Sussex. I know that area well. And they're going to put them in there. Over 600 are going to be taken there, and the local people are furious. And who can blame them? Fucking right, they're illegal. And when they get there, they're allowed to walk around unhindered. They can walk around, go outside, do whatever they fucking love. You know what they do? They've been accused of some horrific crimes over the years. And what is this government's attitude towards them? They haven't got one. They haven't got a fucking brain between them. Can't they see how angry the people of the UK are getting? We're tired of it. And the people of Scotland, you're going to have your hands full too, because I believe they're opening one up now near Inverness. At least it's a fucking long way from Sussex. And Scotland, don't let it happen. But of course they can't stop it because this government had their super majority because you all bloody voted for them. And I told you not to, but you didn't listen to Uncle Peter. But there you go. We have got to do something about it. We can't just let it go. It's pointless going, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It won't be okay. It's getting out of fucking hand. Don't you see that? Try to say this to people, but they're not listening, are they? They don't give a shit. They've got a huge majority in Parliament. You can sign all the petitions in the world, and we have, with hundreds of thousands or even a million. They couldn't give a shit. Keir Starmer and his lot, they don't care. They just carry on. And I just read an article where they're flying drugs in drones into fucking Her Majesty's prison, which is run by David Lammy, by the way, one of the top guys. And they're one of the fucking people overdosed on drugs being illegally. How the fuck can they let drones come into prisons? I thought they were supposed.
I'm gonna shut that one off. Let's do this one here. Here's one I'm not sure. You guys can tell me if I should play it or not.
There is a way to settle this once and for all.
14 minutes.
By looking at his actions. When we look at what Trump and the white hats are behind him have been doing for the past years, then we see that they have
is he
been
good or bad?
systematically deconstructing every single apparatus, operation, plan, structure, network, and power of the Zionist cabal. First of all, they had an agenda for 10 years of pandemics. At the end of 10 years, there would be a great reset that would plunge the whole world in total perpetual tyranny. Trump abolished that. He stopped their pandemic after 8 months. He crushed their plan. Then they came up with climate change as the next scam to have the excuse to suffocate humanity with tyranny. Trump has completely abolished that agenda. Climate change is no longer a thing. They have been trying to use AI to impose, again, suffocating tyranny on the human race. Trump is turning it around and he's using AI now to help humanity rise to new levels of creativity and power. They were ruling the world with a vast financial system to enslave humanity. Trump is abolishing that. And he is creating a new financial system based on crypto that will bring the wealth back to the people. One of the ways that the Zionist cabal was funding their evil operations worldwide was through US aid. They were using the tax money of the American people and they were distributing that, and I'm talking trillions of dollars, to fund all their evil operations worldwide. Trump completely canceled that. They positioned their evil puppets at the highest seats of power through election fraud. Trump has exposed it and is taking dramatic steps to end election tampering so that the just candidates can be elected by the people. These things are so powerful, so wild, they are so fundamental. They were controlling all of mankind through the news media, which was so corrupt, and they used that to completely control the behavior, the actions, the beliefs of the entire world. Trump has exposed it once and for all. Trump coined the term fake news, and he spread it worldwide, and all of a sudden, a vast amount of humanity now knows they cannot trust the news media because they lie to them. By doing that, Trump just crushed their most important tool. They also infiltrated education, and they set up the Department of Education in America to teach lies to the children and the students, to prepare them to become the servants of a one-world government, of wokeism, communism, and so on. Trump abolished the Department of Education, and he is now offering free, high-level academic education to American students where they can be educated properly again with a free mind to become individual thinkers, creative developers who will make America great again. One of the main agendas of the cabal, of the Jews, was to destroy America. Once they have bled it dry, once they've sucked all the blood from America, their plan was to wipe out America because they had to do that in favor of their one-world government. They were preparing to launch a nuclear attack on America from Israel, but it would be done by Iran. Israel would control it, but they would blame Iran and North Korea. Trump ended that agenda. Obama was installed to destroy the American military from within. He replaced the material with the weakest possible material that breaks at impact. He positioned traitors and criminals at the highest positions in the army. They flooded the military with transgenders. They did everything. I mean, they also massively defunded the military. I personally received an email from the assistant to the Secretary of the Navy, This is one of the highest authorities in the whole U.S. Defense Force. This assistant to the Secretary of the Navy wrote me personally that the military of America had been so devastated. He said, if there was war, we are in big trouble. That's what Obama did. Trump rebuilt the military so that America can defend itself again and can stand back up with power. Trump also now ended all the vaccine mandates. He has installed RFK Jr. to end the poisoning of the American people through food, through big pharma, through agriculture. They have attracted Joel Salatin, a leader in organic natural farming, to restore agriculture, to make food healthy again. I mean, and they just started. Listen, people, Trump is literally ending every single work of evil in America. They flooded America with millions of illegal immigrants for the same purpose, to destroy America from within. This is a key strategy of the Zionists. Flood every nation in the world with immigrants so that the identity of the nation crumbles, and, you know, they will all blend into one world state without individual nation identities. Trump is ending that, and now he's telling Europe to do the same. He's saying, protect your countries, send all these immigrants back. Trump has also stood up against the elites. They want to completely eradicate the workforce and replace everything and everyone with robots and with AI. Trump has repeatedly stated at the World Economic Forum, at the United Nations, that the workforce is the most important part, most valuable in a nation. And he just shattered the idea that the elites are important. The elites are not important. They are the parasites. They don't do anything useful. It's the workers. They build the nation. They create the prosperity. And Trump has defended that very powerfully. Israel was sexually blackmailing, I mean, countless, I'm talking thousands of high-level people in finance, in business, in every industry, you know, in politics, in media, through Jeffrey Epstein. All these people, these politicians and celebrities and business leaders were invited to have sex with underage girls or boys, but it was secretly recorded on film and then used to blackmail them. Trump is the one who has told this to the world. I mean, through Q, he has spoken about it almost 70 times. That's amazing. And Trump is the one who arrested Epstein, and he literally stopped the whole Israeli blackmailing system. It's also Trump who had Diddy arrested and ended another sexually blackmailing operation in Hollywood. And then he appointed Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone to be his eyes in Hollywood, he said, to make sure that Hollywood would no longer be a hub of pedophilia, Satanism, and horror. I mean, this is wild. Why is this so wild? Because Hollywood was entirely built by the Jews for the purpose of spreading evil around the world. Trump is putting an end to that. Trump is also stopping the transgender insanity, which is also driven by the same Zionist entities who want to destroy humanity. They are the ones behind the LGBTQ and the whole transgender movement, and Trump is defending it, and he's putting an end to it. Trump has ended the era of censorship. We all saw during the pandemic that the voice of doctors and scientists and everybody worldwide was shut down. This was done by the Zionists. The pandemics are their operations. Trump stopped all the censorship, and he defended free speech. He made sure that truth can once again roam free. Since Trump came into office, YouTube has now reinstalled the tens of thousands of accounts that they had banned. Facebook has done the same. The fact checkers on Facebook are mostly gone. I now have millions of views of my videos on Facebook, while before Trump, I was being banned tremendously. The Zionists, they flooded the big cities with crime. You know, none of this is organic. They flooded the cities with criminals. They defunded the police, all as a part of destroying America so that their one world government would be able to rise. You know, with a powerful America, they can do that. So they have done everything to destroy America. Trump is now ending the epidemic of crime. He's empowering law enforcement again. He's ending the works of the Zionists. And there's so much more. Guys, there's...
Okay, I think I better stop this one. I'm not sure if that was... Is this one good to play, finish off, or not? How many want me to continue? I'll move on to the next. It was just about over. I got some short videos.
into end corruption forever. And we've seen some indictments, some little guys here and there, investigations. Well, what was...
God dang it. Almost lost you.
the swamp to arrest corrupt politicians and to end corruption forever. And we've seen some indictments, some little guys here and there, investigations. Well, what was just announced this morning by John Sullivan on Real American Voices is that Trump is no longer going after the little guys. No, Trump decided it is time to cut the head off the snake. He's going for the guys at the very top, because you take them out, they're going to squeal on everybody else, and they're all going to prison. Ladies and gentlemen, be ready to be shocked. But really quickly, before I play the clip, smash that thumbs up, subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. May the Lord Jesus Christ himself be a blessing to you and to your family. Let's get right into it.
John, you're now able to report.
By the way, the longer this video goes, the more shocking and revealing it gets. You don't want to miss anything.
That Brennan is actually under criminal investigation, sir, by a grand jury?
Yeah, not only that, his lawyers have told the chief judge in Miami that they believe their client has been named a target. A target is defined as someone in the U.S. Attorney's Manual who is likely to be indicted. You're supposed to get a target notification shortly before a grand jury is asked to indict you. And so the fact that the judges confirmed this to the chief judge and then also went to the chief judge in Miami and said, hey, we want you to put the kibosh on this. We think they're judge shopping, they're forum shopping, they're doing all these terrible things in Florida. Chief judge, please intervene and protect our client from being indicted. What does this letter reveal to us?
So John Brennan's attorneys are reaching out to judges and down in Florida and saying, please help our client not get indicted. There's a grand jury. Why is John Brennan so important? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to explain this right now. But he was the CIA director under Obama. Everything that Obama told him to do with Russiagate, Spygate, and everything else, Brennan did it.
Reveals that.
And if Brennan goes down, Obama goes down with him.
The weaponization investigation has moved from other grand juries, including Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and New York, to Miami now, and most likely will be housed in Fort Pierce, Florida. This is the grand conspiracy concept that Kash Patel wrote in that memo earlier this year that you and I talked about. For the first time, we have written evidence from one of the targets of that investigation, the former CIA director, John Brennan, that these cases have been consolidated, that they've been sent to Miami. Now, they argue this is forum shopping, that they really want Judge Eileen Cannon, the woman who dismissed one of Jack Smith's cases against President Trump. But the truth of the matter is, the reason the Justice Department has put this investigation in Fort Pierce is that one of the last acts of what Kash Patel and Pam Bondi view as a conspiracy actually occurred in Florida. That was the raid on President Trump's home and then the subsequent prosecution that was brought there for classified documents. So the venue isn't arbitrarily picked. It's actually been chosen because that is where one of the more contemporaneous alleged crimes, the crimes that are still under the statute of limitations, occurred, and therefore you roll up all the rest of that conspiracy there. And I just want to remind people what we talked about last week. On that very case, that raid of President Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago in August 2022, we now know that the FBI had warned the Biden Justice Department that they did not have probable cause to go and do that search, to do that raid, and the Justice Department proceeded anyways. That is a potential civil liberties violation. That is the sort of thing that Harmeet Dillon last week on our show, just right after your show, came on and said, I think I see a conspiracy to violate President Trump's and other conservative civil liberties, and I'm pursuing it that way. That's the sort of thing that I think is now consolidating in the state of Florida.
John, you're...
So really quickly, John Brennan was a CIA director under Obama. All the corruption, all the politicization of the FBI and DOJ that was done by John Brennan was done at the command of Barack Hussein Obama. He's the orchestrator of all of it. Tulsi Gabbard revealed that many times already. Now, when John Brennan gets indicted, he's going to face treason charges. I mean, he's going to be facing decades in prison. Do you not think he's going to snitch? Do you think he's not going to tell? Going from a life of luxury, corruption, and millions of dollars raking in from corrupt deals, do you really think that he's not going to snitch? He's going to snitch. And I like how the Trump administration is playing this. They are putting Barack Obama in a corner. They're doing everything they can to scare him, to frighten him, and say, hey, we got your team. Your team's going to tell him. They don't even have to investigate Obama. Just indict Brennan, a couple other people. They're all going to start singing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely an amazing Christmas gift for freedom-loving Americans like you and I. God bless you. I love you. I'll see you on the next.
Okay, that's the guy from, I think, Arizona. It's been good for a while. Big news there. This one guy is a new guy I found, so let me know, and I'll stop it. It's about 8 minutes, and I'm going to play one Cash video out of Texas. He's doing one from Texas. I've never seen this one before.
I'm going to tie in exactly how I believe Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, Tony West, Kamala Harris, all of these people are linked together with the fraud that we're seeing unfold right now. And I'm going to explain to you how it is. See, it starts way back when Barack Obama was president. When he was president, he was in charge of appointing somebody to the Department of Justice Civil Division, Tony West. And you say, well, who's Tony West? It's Kamala Harris's brother-in-law. So he appoints Kamala Harris's brother-in-law, Tony West, but not only does he do that, but he removes the restriction that Congress has to approve any settlement over $100,000. See, Congress used to have to approve that. Once Barack took away that restraint, DOJ can sue for anything with nobody's approval. They could sue for $1 gazillion, and Congress doesn't have to approve for a settlement. Why is the settlement important? Because in a settlement, you don't have to disclose all the law firms involved. You just settle. Now, people complain when Tony West was settling all of these cases. They were all minority-based cases. People suing the Justice Department, suing the Justice Department for minority-based this, minority-based that. The Justice Department, what they would do because of Tony West is settle. 50 million, 40 million, $1 billion, nobody knew because they wouldn't release it because Barack Obama already signed off saying You don't got to tell nobody. So Kamala Harris's brother-in-law was taking all of this money, giving it to all of these law firms. Now, you know, Barack, he's an attorney. Michelle Obama, she's an attorney. So all of these attorneys out there were getting all of this money from the DOJ now, being fed and loving it. Tony West, another attorney, he's now the head of Uber. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later. He's the head of Uber legal department. But now all of these attorneys are eating right now. Nobody knows how much money is going on. Kind of like with BLM, when people were donating all this money to BLM, but BLM wasn't giving money to the people who it was intended for. That's what these law firms were doing. They were keeping the funds. So people were suing the Justice Department on behalf of minorities. Minorities weren't getting the money, though. The law firms were getting the money. So after they saw how this scheme was working, now you got Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar, Michelle Obama. What was Michelle Obama big for? We got to feed all these kids. This is about nutrition. We got to make sure every kid has a meal. That was Michelle Obama. Ilhan Omar says, oh, we could do that in Minnesota. I'll start a whole new program. So now she's using all of the legalese from Michelle Obama, go to Minnesota. They create this feeding our future, no kid starves thing. And where did all the money end up? In Kenya, China, Somalia. Who's linked to Kenya? Barack Obama. Kenyan relatives. Who's in China? Tim Walz. He has all these Chinese connections. All the banks in China know who Tim Walz is. He was a big politician. He's got connections over there. So when it came time for the Democrats to choose, after Biden says, I can't do this, they chose Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris linked in with who? The DOJ already, Tony West. He already went to Uber. But guess who's also they're linked in with? Tim Walz in Minnesota through Ilhan Omar. So now you got all of these people who are all linked together, already got previous dealings with each other. The Democrats are like, why don't we run a primary? Barack is like, we're not running a primary. We're going to appoint Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, you're going to choose Tim Walz. Everybody's like, who the hell's Tim Walz? See, Tim Walz has already been deep in it with Ilhan Omar and Michelle Obama's food programs. They've already been deep in scamming already. So they need to choose somebody that can keep it rolling. You can't choose an outside Democrat. You can't choose a Pete Buttigieg or anybody like that because they're going to be like, what the hell is all this going on? Now, when Trump finally won and he came in and he says, we're cleaning this all up, everybody started resigning. The head of Social Security office resigning. All of these people started resigning because they knew the jig was up. All of this money that they were putting up for minorities and putting up for illegals, it was all just being swindled. Nobody was being taken care of. All these cities are going bankrupt right now because the feds weren't funneling this money to it. The states were like, well, we'll fund and you guys reimburse us. And the feds were like, okay, $9 billion is flowing out of this country into over other banks. Now, if any bank here in America was like, we're getting billions and billions of dollars put into our banking system, what the hell's going on? But if you're doing it in China, you're doing it in Kenya, you're doing it in Somalia, you're doing it in Sweden, you're doing it in the Cayman Islands, you're putting this money all over the place. American banks don't know what's up. You can even put it in banks over in Ukraine. Ukraine was kind of getting money on. It's like, hey, we'll help you guys move the money. As long as, we got our man Zelensky in power, we will help you move the money. Everything was happening right in front of everybody's faces. Now they want to claim, oh, it's not as big as what it is. I did a story about this 2 years ago, talking about Tim Walz and Tony West and all of this fraud. 2 years ago, I was talking about it. It's now 2025, and people are finally saying, hey, Tim Walz is involved in fraud. I said it 2 years ago. I said, this dude is in bed with Tony West. Tony West was running fraud at the DOJ. Everybody was talking about investigating Tony West, and all of a sudden it just disappeared. When Trump won, it disappeared. Like, what happened? Were we investigating this guy or what? He was the one scamming the DOJ. He was using minorities to fund all of these law firms who were in turn giving money to Kamala Harris, an attorney, Michelle Obama, attorney, Barack Obama, attorney, Tony West, attorney. So all of our tax dollars are flowing to all these attorneys. Where's the money at? And once Barack Obama already knew Obamacare was a scam from the get-go, he was like, this is going to be too easy. We've got illegals coming in from Somalia, illegals coming in from all over the world. We can have them apply for and use Medicaid, Medicare, all of these services, creating dummy companies and everything else to make sure we trap the tax dollars in our scheme. We don't let the Americans into the scheme. We do the scheme with the people coming into the country that don't know how our laws work. We're the attorneys here. We just need a bunch of patsies. So all of these people in the Somalian community has no idea they were being played. You guys are being used. You got autistic kids, you got hungry kids, you need housing, you need lodging. All of these people were being used by a group of attorneys who had this grand scheme on how to get tax dollars under everybody's noses using programs and NGOs. I'm telling you, this goes way deeper than what a lot of people think. Tim Walsh and Ilhan Omar are not masterminds. This was a mastermind affair. This right here started at the very, very top a long time ago, knowing we could get tax dollars out of these people if we play by the rules. The only way they could play by the rules is if they got people that didn't really know the rules. You need people who think this is on the up and up, but you're using scams to get there. You're using a collection of people who know exactly how to work through the loopholes. You're getting kickbacks. So a lot of politicians were getting kickbacks. A lot of agencies out there are getting kickbacks. You can't tell me these people saw all that money come through and they didn't know the wiser. You can't tell me that. These are intelligent people with degrees, with experiences in law, with experience in politics, experience in government agencies. And you telling me a group of Somali pirates who probably didn't even have high school educations tricked everybody out of $9 billion? I'm not buying it. Now Tim Walsh and Ilhan Omar are sitting on the hot seat and the other people in the backdrop like, yeah, don't say our name. Whatever you do, don't say our names. I said y'all names 2 years ago. I think we better start looking into it.
Okay, I think I do remember him a long time ago. I saw his around. So, and I got that one lady came out yesterday, a short clip, and she came out tonight with a short one. So I'm going to play those two. One more Trish, and then TikTok lady. The last one will be Cash. This is only about a 2-minute clip.
Donald Trump is failing to adequately or appropriately represent some very vital aspects of our country and its nature and its claims as an entity. And so as a result, our people have been mistreated and abused and impersonated. And nobody seems to be concentrating on correcting this except our organizations, our own people taking action in their own behalf. That's what it's all coming down to. But as we were discussing last week, we have a great amount of power that we don't really think about or exercise. And part of that power is our voice. It's turning out that in the realm of quantum physics, our voice has a completely unheard of and wonderful ability to basically order matter. And we need to learn how to use this and make use of it to control our external circumstance, improve our health, and bring to fruition the kind of world that we want to have and enjoy.
Okay, that was just a 2-minute one. I got one more.
Presenting us as things and people. Now, bear in mind, if you let someone identify you as a corporation and give your name to a corporation so that they can facilitate fraud on the court and bring you forward as a corporation, there is no law against murdering a corporation. Right. That's right. You have cause to be alarmed. You have cause to object to what they're doing. you have cause to demand reform of their operations, of their courts on this soil, because their laws are not our laws, and they have no right to be misaddressing our people and pretending that they are instead their persons. Right. This is what's going on, and we have to stop it. We have to stop them, and they're well organized. They know what they're doing. It's for their benefit, not ours. So we have to organize ourselves and make use of our powers and enforce their limitations so that we no longer have situations like this. Part of that is getting our drill assemblies up and functioning and having our own courts reliably in session so that we don't have to deal with their courts. This is the upshot. As long as our courts are functioning, we don't have to listen to their courts. As long as our law is being enforced and represented, we don't have to pay attention to what they're enforcing or doing. So if people want a foundation of their freedom, there it is. Get your own courts up and running and keep them up and running so that you never have to pay attention to what some smarmy bar attorney says in deference to his king. If you don't want the king lording it over you as a subject, if our forefathers' suffering means anything to you, if freedom means anything to you, if you don't want to be accorded the status of a British subject and be in bondage to the king from the time you're a baby until you die, then it's time to stand up and re-inhabit and repopulate your own government and tell their government what their contract requires.
Okay. Those are short ones. We got Trish coming up.
Chances in the next election. Isn't part of fixing what went wrong knowing what went wrong in the public?
I'm always in favor of transparency, John, and
that one's too long, you guys. Sorry about that. That one's an hour. So we'll go ahead and play 2 cast videos. Oh, wait. Our TikTok or our YouTube lady, the one that's the laughter one. This one's 21.
Please. Hey guys, welcome back in. Today we are talking about eBay, the online marketplace that everybody desperately wants to trust because you can find legit deals on the site, but you can also end up with things like expired skincare, knockoff tech, and the worst ones in my opinion are the packages that smell like cigarettes and regret. That's right. Today we're diving into eBay shopping fails, specifically where what you ordered versus what you got are 2 completely different universes. These are definitely the kind of purchases that make you want to rethink shopping on an online marketplace. Let's get into these eBay fails and learn absolutely nothing.
If you are Kelly from Pennsylvania, I have a bone to pick with you. You tried to sell me 4 boxes of skin product that expired 6 years ago. Here we go. What is the expiration date, you ask? 7 of 2019. And if you do or do not know, Zeo skin health products are really expensive. But honestly, I've had pretty good success up until now using eBay, where I get it just a little cheaper than what it goes for retail. I always look at the expiration date, I see if it's a functional product, and mostly it always is. So I want to say these instant pore refiners go for maybe $40 each, and I got 4 for $80.
Don't get me wrong. I was an eBay seller for years. I still dabble a little bit. My father still sells on eBay. as a full-time gig since he's retired. But it is true. You do get what you pay for. And eBay is not full of all professional sellers. Sometimes there's just people looking to blow out liquidated merchandise that could potentially be expired. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. That also includes items that are not shipped professionally and they could potentially arrive damaged. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Bro, nah. You gotta be taking the piss. No.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome.
What is this? So boom! What the f? My mom's have this note. I saw my mom's 5,000 there. What the f?
Those aren't headphones. Okay, this is what I think this is. I think somebody got those headphones in liquidation. I actually recognize that headphones box. I have personally sold those headphones myself and I got them in liquidation. I bet what happened was somebody got those headphones in liquidation and they didn't actually open the box to check it. And someone had returned that to Amazon instead of the headphones. And then someone unknowingly sold it to somebody else because they didn't check inside the box. That kind of stuff happens all the time in liquidation. It's little.
So, my boyfriend watches a YouTuber named Max Mofo, and he's watched him for a really long time. And the other day, me and my boyfriend went to Subway, and he sees a guy there wearing a Max Mofo shirt, and he just got so excited, and he went up to this guy, and he's like, "Oh my god, I love your shirt so much, like it's so cool." And I just thought that was the cutest thing ever, that he just loved the shirt so much. And so I got home, went to Max Mofo's website, and they were completely sold out. So I went to eBay, and I found a Max Mofo shirt in an extra large, and it was described as a long shirt, which I thought sounded perfect. He's 6'5", long shirt works just fine. There was no other descriptions besides Max Mofo long shirt. So this is the listing. So you can just see Max Mofo long shirt. I will show you what this long shirt looks like.
How long is this shirt? Well, she's halfway down the freaking hallway. I haven't even seen this kind of shit on Temu. That is wild.
With me as we unbox one of my absolute worst purchases ever made on eBay. My son actually made this purchase. He spent $62 on a lot of several different Lego sets. They were Star Wars sets, and well, we knew that they may arrive looking something like this, but what we didn't anticipate is that they would arrive looking something like this. That's super glue residue. Yeah, super glue doesn't really play well with Lego, and it creates this white fog all over it, and a lot of the pieces fell apart and got jumbled up, but the ones that were super glued and couldn't just fall off, well, they just broke and shattered off of the sets. The main set that he wanted all of this for wasn't even included in this box. So we got a box of all of these random parts that have been super glued together. Yes, we did get our money back. eBay does say that you will get what you paid for, but nonetheless, it took a little bit of time and filing for a refund, and the seller actually wanted to dispute it and give us a partial refund on this. Look at this. I'm not even sure what you do with Lego like this. So many of these pieces you could never build on top of again, and it's just trash at this point.
I want to know what the original listing looked like. I want to know if it said that pieces of the sets that were assembled were glued. I want to know, because a lot of the times, again, all my eBay sellers out there know this, customers don't always read the descriptions. They don't read the descriptions, and then when they get stuff, they get pissed off because they claim that they didn't know, but It's just because they didn't actually read. So I'd be really, really curious to know if it was in the listing that these sets were glued.
So I'm opening a few packages of stuff I ordered. This one says received in damaged condition. Yeah, I would say so. Let's see how bad it is. I'm not even sure what this is, besides being damaged. Oh no. It's just in a shirt. Someone packed cast iron literally in a shirt. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's even worse. It's glass. It was a glass square lid. Apparently a shirt didn't protect it.
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF Spaces with AI do? Do your marketing needs in one spot.
14 minutes.
So weird, and I want everybody to know about it. I ordered a package on eBay. It was fragile, so they put some stuffing in there. They used notebook paper. That's fine. Every piece, the lines are scribbled out, front and back. Every piece, someone has taken a pen and scribbled out.
That is like some, that's like some serial killer shit. Who is just sitting there, like scribbling on lined notebook paper and then crinkling it up to use it as padding in a package? That's so weird. I mean, maybe they have a small child that was, pretending to write or something, but most children are like all over the place, right? They don't like neatly go in the lines. And now this seller has your address. Someone needs to check on her.
Every line, every single one. It's not a small box. Every piece, front and back.
Please don't be ugly. Please. Please.
I love how she's like, please don't be ugly. Please don't be ugly. And then the reveal.
My apologies. I'm not looking my best. I just wanted to show you what I ordered from eBay. It's from Paloma Wool, and I was not sure about it, but I am so excited. It's like a burnt red one piece. Look at the back. I can't think of the term right now. Jumpsuit?
Haha.
I'm gonna try it on. Oh my god, never mind. I don't think I can show this without getting reported, but it's cute. But
covering. I can't show this. I can't show this on the internet. I love how she put the caption screenshot. Nobody screenshot that. Oh my god.
I got scammed on eBay. Hi, 200 shoes a month, and this is the first time something like this has happened. I don't know who this is from. I haven't checked the label, but the UPS workers gave this to me. I'll agree, but this is ridiculous. Somebody shipped me 3 shoes. Appears from overseas. Just the boxes. And for those who don't believe me, the labels are still attached. I don't know what's in these boxes. We're going to open it up, find out, and yeah. Trusty knife, let's get into it. All right, the boxes are separated. I could remove all the tape in this video. I'm not going to. If you want video on that, just ask, I can do it. How I remove tape without damaging the box. Let's start off with the least prettiest box, a pair of Air Forces, I assume. Oh, I can't open it because it's closed. Open it up, let's see. Oh, this is actually a really good shoe. A pair of Air Jordan 14 Lightnings. I mean, pretty good condition. I mean, this is a pretty solid shoe. I just need to do a crease removal and give them a once over, but they're pretty good to go. All right, not so bad. Second box, I think it's the Anthracite 9. Yeah, look at the shoe, the Anthracite 9s. Again, another clean shoe. Why do you ship them like this, though? OG All size 11.5. I mean, solid condition. Just needs a once over, a quick clean. And I know what this is. A brand new pair of Belair flies. Oh, they're used. He had them listed as brand new. I'm not shocked because after all of this, that's just ridiculous. How do you? That's ridiculous. I'm really disappointed. I really like those shoes, but I paid like really high for these. I thought they were new. I'm going to be getting my refund though. I'm gonna file out through eBay. Hopefully we can work something out.
I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think he got scammed? Yeah. The way that those shoes were shipped was extremely unprofessional, especially when you know he paid up for those shoes. The fact that the seller just like put all three of the shoe boxes together and just like haphazardly package taped them, you know, and just who knows what kind of condition the shoes could have arrived in after that. They could at least put the boxes inside of a poly bag. Like I've done that kind of stuff before. If something is in a box, I will just simply stack all of the boxes within a poly bag and like really go to town with the tape on the poly bag to make sure that it doesn't tear, just so that, you know, the package itself has a little bit of integrity and a little bit of, you know, privacy, because everybody and their mom who saw this package sitting on his porch the entire way through transit, they knew exactly what it was. It was 3 pairs of expensive shoes. That package could have been stolen easy peasy. The least that the seller could have done is wrap it in a poly bag to let the package be discreet, really. And, you know, do you think that he got scammed by receiving used shoes when he thought he was getting new shoes? Do you consider that being scammed? Or do you think that that's just a seller misrepresenting an item? I don't necessarily think it was him getting scammed. What do you think?
Thinking I got the deal of my life. Let me show you the listing photo. It was advertised as a 14 karat gold charm with a little diamond in the middle. I was prepared for it to be small. I simply don't think you're ready for this. This is the bigger package that it came in. I don't even want to show it. This is what I got in the mail. Do you see it? That is actually insane. I thought it would be small. I didn't think it would be microscopic.
That is tiny. That is such a tiny charm. Would it even fit on a chain? I don't think there's any chain small enough that would actually go on.
Can't even put it on a necklace without a jump ring 4 times its size. I'm gonna return it. Thankfully, they accept returns. I can't say that I'm in the right because the measurements were there. However, I didn't understand them and I was like, whatever. I took my chances. So this is what I get. My only question is like, what would you even use this for? What would you use this for?
A Barbie doll. It'd be a really fancy charm for a necklace for my Barbie doll. That's what I would use it for if I was 12 years old.
Would you be able to tell the difference between these 2 Wicked Advent calendars? Well, I can. I thought I'd save a few dollars by buying one on eBay. I feel like it's kind of obvious where this is going, but I just find this so funny. I opened day 1 yesterday of this Wicked Advent calendar, and I just have to say, it is the worst thing I have ever seen. It seems to look okay on the surface, but if I show you the legitimate one, it's quite different. I opened a few just out of sheer curiosity because this is actually a joke. And yeah, I was scared and I just find it so funny. This is what you get when you open the first envelope. And this is what you get when you open the first envelope in the eBay version. Legitimate version. eBay version. And what I didn't realize is that it actually comes with a bunch of stickers, which I missed in the TikTok that I just posted about day 2. Like, what a joke. Guys, it's so bad. Look at this shit. Honestly, just pause this and just have a look at the atrocity of the eBay version. Like, what is this? So if you think you're going to save a few dollars by getting the cheap one on eBay, please do not. I should have known better, but I was like, $39 from Big W. Well, I could get it for $22. No, you get the Big W one.
And I was looking forward to the arrival of the bangs that I ordered. Now, I ordered light brown with blonde highlights. And this is what's arrived today. So natural.
Who is buying bangs? Who's just buying bangs? Should I try bangs? I don't know. Should I try bangs? Who is buying bangs now? I've seen veneers. I've seen hair extensions. I've never seen someone just do bangs. Just bangs. Nothing else. Just bangs. Is this a new thing? Do I need to try it? Let me know in the comments. Should I try bangs?
I use PayPal to buy this ticket. I'm paying it off over time. No fees, no interest.
You know what else has no interest?
Stop laughing. I got this beautiful package in the mail.
5 minutes.
It's returned from eBay. Where is even Regina? Regina, Canada. Isn't it cool? It's actually really nice. So soft, it's like worn in. It's so exciting. It'll be a time for Christmas for her. I wash it. I was gonna check if it was gonna come in time, but that's perfect. That's cool. That's so exciting. Look, vintage U2 it's from American Apparel. Wait, maybe they did collab. I paid $80 US for this. That was not on the listing. It's literally fucking dirty on the inside, and it's from fucking American Apparel. I'm so mad.
Yeah, that's not original. That's not an original vintage tee. Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff happens a lot. Happens a lot on eBay.
First time I got a refund for an item I bought online because of cigarettes and a diaper. Yeah, a diaper. Surprise, surprise, I bought another doll on eBay. This box was really questionable when I got here. It had like stains on it. I like that the eyes were separate. I collect these eyes, which are like the antique 1800s, early 1900s German doll eyes that like it's on a weight system, so they blink. So love these. All right, this doll really smells like cigarettes, and it was not posted in the listing, but I'm like, oh my god, it smells so bad. Okay.
And she's not being dramatic. Like, I've been to estate sales, garage sales, digging through people's attics and basements. The smell of cigarette smoke, when it is absolutely embedded on merchandise, it's awful. Absolutely atrocious. And I'm not even saying that this is the seller's fault. Like, it's probably not the seller's house that smells like an ashtray. It's probably just this doll. Because if it's an old doll, it probably came out of someone else's house that was sitting, absorbing smoke for decades. And you can't get that smell out. But still, it should have been disclosed in the listing.
Okay, so I might have to ask for a refund or return it because it smells so bad. Like someone's been literally puffing smoke on this thing for like 10 years. Oh my god. It has a diaper on it. The diaper and the cigarettes. Oh my god. If anyone knows how to get cigarette smoke out of cloth, please let me know. I'm allergic to it. Let's unbox this diaper. I'm gonna actually throw up. Oh my god, there's more than one diaper. I mean, okay. I know it's just a diaper, but that's really disgusting, honestly. It sucks because it's a really nice old one. Oh yeah, there's like a pube on it too. Okay, it sucks because the doll is gorgeous. Okay, like what do I do? I mean, she's got like the leather body and everything. Like she's old, but she reeks. Like, do I like air her outside, or does anyone have any like tricks? I can't wash her because she's like literally antique falling apart leather. I mean,
That's so disappointing, man. That's so incredibly disappointing because stuff like that, antiques, there's very little that you can do to correct a problem like that and still hold integrity of the item itself. That's just how disappointing. It reeks. And I know what she means by being allergic to cigarette smokes. Like, I have asthma that's allergy induced. And the two things that really do it for me are fresh cut grass and cigarette smoke. Can't breathe. Can't breathe at all. There you have it. Sometimes.
Well, today's video, she had the eBay stuff, find eBay things. So this will be the last one for tonight. It'll be cash by 18 minutes. So that will put us at 2.5. So tomorrow, I'll go early tomorrow, you guys. We'll go about 3 o'clock tomorrow. Since it's Christmas Eve. So I think 3 o'clock will be okay, I think.
That's not a turning lane. Ooh, slowing down the cruiser. Now he's going into a trailer park. What is he going to do in a trailer park with a white van? Maybe he thinks he can blend in. Oh, I mean, he's blending in with that fence. What do you think about that? Look at the windows blacked out. Oh, look, he's got his Coke in the cup holder there. Just sipping his soda. The last Coke he's going to get. 1. How many people we got in the back here? 2. They just keep coming. This van is packed. Now, the activists are going to see this and they're going to say, oh, these guys, they were just on their way to work, man. Why you got to harass them on their way to work? But before we see some even crazier freeway chases, which perfectly explain how the formerly open border blessed America with the highest insurance rates ever. Here we go. We got a truck flying down a residential street here. Oh, making a tight turn. I see something hanging out of the back of that truck. That better not be what I think it is. Are we going to find out? Well, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Oh, wait, they're in an apartment or something? They're in someone's basement. They're in a home. They're hiding in someone's house. This is crazy. This home was just invaded.
I'm good too. I think some more jumped on.
Wow. This could have. Oh, is it someone's backyard? Where are they? Look at all this trash. Man. There's a washing machine.
There's another one.
Oh, they've got some people.
We're going to have to take the same route.
Wow.
Check
It's like a junkyard or something. Man, they got these guys and these women. But wait till you hear what the driver of this 1995
about 3 o'clock.
Texas TPS is going to believe.
Go an hour.
Who are all the people laying down in the back?
An hour tomorrow.
Said that their car was broke down a couple miles back, but I told him I was like, okay, but that's all. They said they need to ride up to some state park up here or something.
Oh, okay. You don't know, no?
I don't.
She just admits it. All the people lying down in the back. How many people? Oh.
Manos.
Why is there a cage? Oh, that's to like perhaps disguise people? Wow. So she rented a U-Haul for $19.95 and now might be going away for 19 years if convicted. How many folks we got here? I see several people back there. Oof. And you know, the other thing is, who are these individuals? They weren't vetted at the southern border.
You're going to be charged with 3 counts of human smuggling.
3 counts.
Okay.
That's 10 years each if convicted, and those could have been gang members. Okay. Officer approaches the side of the vehicle, taps on the glass. Come on out. Oh, that engine ain't coming out. And there they go. Now we're off. Whoa, look at this. We got the whole force on this one. SUVs. Oh, he just avoided the spikes.
Negative spikes, Dario. Negative spikes. Still sweating.
Negative spikes. Oh, the red light didn't stop him either. Look at that.
Taking a right on guard.
Go figure. The people driving these cars have no respect for the laws of the road or the laws of the road. Look at this. Putting everybody at risk. The whole town is in danger. They got to get this person off the road. Which they will, as you're about to see. Look, this guy spends more time in the left lane than in the right lane. Which is wrong. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, man. This is crazy. Look, it just does not want to. That is crazy. These people are ridiculous. And they're risking the lives of everybody in that car. This is so crazy. What's going to happen now? Oh, did that truck just box him in? Did that truck driver just help him?
Bailing, Dario. Bailing.
Oh, they're bailing out.
Driver wing off black. Driver wing off black.
So, they're getting out. Oh, look at that. Illegal immigrants are getting out too. Okay. They're running off. Car's abandoned at this point. Now we got a foot chase.
Stop! Stop!
Are they going to stop?
That's him.
Oh, thought he could hide in the bushes.
That's him.
Got him.
That's him.
Got him, bro.
Get him.
You feel like Texas GPS has never been in the brush before. You're dumb.
Hey, all units hold traffic. 3103 Dario.
And he's an illegal immigrant, the smuggler. But this chase right here takes a wrong turn almost immediately. Look at this person.
You too, Daniel. We'll see you
Cruising
tomorrow
down
for
right through a stop sign, right by and off. An on-ramp, rather. Look at that. He's just trying to turn. He's trying to turn his way out of this one. He should just turn his life around and not do smuggling. Oh, look at that. All over the road, and making a wild turn. Is this guy going to get away? He can't. It's not going to get away. Car's loaded with people. Running stop signs. Look at this. Oh, that is bad news. This person, when they catch this, oh, what just happened there? The vehicle's on fire.
We're still trying to be north on east.
While it's driving. What kind of vehicle is that? Don't buy one of these. It catches on fire. Look at all the smoke. That's wild. It looks like a Nissan. Oh, there he goes. One. Is the guy going to try to run? Okay, here's everybody. Look, they happen to get out of the vehicle in an area where the road is fenced off. Like, fences and jail cells are in the future of these people, that's for sure. Look, they're all going to get caught. Look at him. He has nowhere to go. Why did you stop that fence right there? It wasn't even that high. Wow, look at all the tattoos on that fella. Wow. Caught everybody. Look at this road. There's no escape here. That's what you get for buying a Nissan. Piece of junk. Wait till you see where the driver of this semi was hiding people in this vehicle. This is unbelievable. They pull this thing over and just watch.
The reason for a stop is your trailer is expired. The plate. What?
Of course, the plate's expired. These smugglers are so stupid. Now he's complaining.
You're full right now?
No, vacío.
Okay, and you're gonna go pick up what?
You own crypto, but do you really own it? For many users, your tokens sit in some company's account.
But wait till you hear where he's got people. It's not what you think. Look, they are all over this vehicle. This officer, by the way, he's out here by himself.
Sir, go and turn around.
Oh, so they found something.
I'm gonna have a trailer loaded with people. Can you
He says it's loaded with people. But where are they? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's crazy. There's a hatch on the bottom of the truck to dispense something, and it's dispensing individuals. This is wild, man. This is so crazy. Look at that. And the truck had expired plate. You figure these people, they would do something correct to avoid detection, but no. This is so awful, man. Who knows what these people went through? Look, there's how many folks we got?
18.
18 people. I was wrong. Wow. That's what it's like inside. What a disaster. But even though this chase here might start out the same as many others, something very disturbing happens here, and it's not that. Oh, where is he going? Okay, he's, of course, they're always driving to resident. Look, everybody's on the wrong side of the road today. Oh, almost hit that white car. Now, this white car. Okay, look at this. Watch what happens here. This white car. Something about this car. It just showed up, and it's impeding this investigation. Why? Or is this a smart operation where you got the people in the red car taking out the people in the white car? Apparently, they were blocking law enforcement, this white vehicle. Look at this guy. Did he just spin out? Not really. Is he in control? Sort of. He's all over the place. He's trying to get away. Look at this. This guy has not obeyed one traffic signal. Now he's going across the median. I don't think these vehicles... Oh, they got the helicopter up there. You're not getting away, dude. You cannot outrun the helicopter. Oh. Was that the end? No, he's still in one piece. Oh, they're going after him. He's going for the water. He's in the water. Helicopter's over the water. Look, they jumped in the water. But now there's this white vehicle. So those people apparently fled back to Mexico, but they're still on this car. Why did it interfere with the investigation? That's what we're going to find out. This is very odd. Oh, pit maneuver. Citizen arrest. And he's still in one piece. Sort of. Two pieces. Bumper's gone. They ain't gonna buff out.
Out! Get out! on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the
This
ground.
person.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Are they part of this? Wow. I mean, I don't know. Who sees a police investigation and just inserts themselves in it if they're not in on the take somehow? But speaking of being on the take, watch what happens with this vehicle right here. Look at that. They just let a whole bunch of people out of this car. That car just emptied out. Look at that. 7 people just ran into the woods, and now he's off like a rocket. Let's see what happens.
Milepost 686
Wow.
with the 28 on my car.
Okay. Go get him, officer. What's he going to do? Of course, he's not going to obey the rules of the road. He's going to pass this truck over the double yellow. This is so dangerous. I don't care who's on the road. And I don't care if look at everybody pulling over. He had a semi coming right at him. This is dumb, man.
115 miles an hour.
115 miles an hour. It would not have gotten this high had this car still been packed with people entering the country illegally.
6 minutes. 22 spikes. 22 spikes.
And there they go. Oh, they couldn't. Did he get around him or did he hit him?
1050. 1050.
That's the end of that vehicle. Now they're going to get out.
I'm going to hold traffic here at the intersection.
Hey! What is it? Stand up! Hey! Stand up!
Look at this guy, brand new white sneakers. Can't wear those in jail.
Tírate al piso. Tírate al piso.
Y manos atrás. I'll go in.
Ooh. But here we have somebody with a white pickup truck who is traveling at an incredibly high rate of speed and has no plans to slow down anytime soon. Now he's got a choice to make. Obey. Oh, is that an army base? There's a base around here. What's this guy going to do?
Put your hands out the window!
Ooh.
Put your hands out the window! Do not move!
Wow, this did not end the way this person expected. Wow, that officer is carrying some heavy artillery right there. Look at that. Don't mess with Texas, man. And there's people in the car, of course.
Come back towards the sound of my voice.
Dude, these guys are loaded, man. They have to be. You know why? Because they don't know who they're going to run into, and this person's wearing their pajamas. They got up. They were just going to go get a snack at the store, and ICE abused them. That's what you hear from the activists. This is crazy. Meanwhile, they're running out of handcuffs.
Las manos arriba.
Wow.
If you've got a military, first responder, or government service background, you get exclusive discounts on eyewear brands like
1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 passengers. Wow. But while most smugglers make the roads of our country much more dangerous than they need to, the driver of this Scorpion right here, which is a traffic safety vehicle, thought he had the bright idea of disguising himself. The only problem for him is traffic safety vehicles, which are government contracted, don't tend to operate at 2 o'clock in the morning and drive like this.
Hey, Joe.
This is not going to end well for this person.
Sorry, I missed you there.
He thought he had it. His plan, get the Scorpion traffic safety vehicle out there, didn't work. He's going away, and he knows it. Watch this. The door slams. They're armed. They're ready. They don't know who this guy is. Weapons out. Extracting him from the vehicle. Wow. They're not taking any.
Can you watch him while I place
chance.
Oh, here, sir.
Look, they had people hidden in the traffic cones, which were supposed to be deployed. Look at that. Wow. Evading arrest. Guy does not look happy. But here we have an officer with his lights on, waiting for something to happen, and there it is. A smuggler running a traffic light. And we're off. And he's headed for
That's the last video, Lori.
Let's see if that works out. I think we already know that since this is on camera, it doesn't. His lights are off. He thinks he can hide with a white car and no lights at nighttime. That's not very smart, but neither is breaking the law and flooding America with people who aren't even supposed to be here. That's dumb. You don't know who those people are. Oh, that was an attempted pin. It didn't work. Now he's off-road. Are people going to bail? Oh, look at this. Officer Smart jams the driver in. Driver can't open the door now. Now we got an approach. Oh, now okay. We're going in the brush. He's got somebody. Got this guy. Ooh. Look at all the smoke. Is there a fire? Look at this guy. He's got a shirt on. This is wild. Wow.
You choose fast.
Wow, oh, there were a lot of people in that vehicle. I don't think it's on fire. But probably the worst smuggler on our list today is the driver of this Nissan pickup. Watch what happens here. This is unbelievable. First of all, he's looking for a place to bail out. But look, there's just fields everywhere. There's no cover. They got the whole force following this guy. It's not going to work out. There's nowhere to go. He knows he's doomed. And watch what happens. Oh, yep. They think we're going to see a bailout. What is going to happen here? Down a residential street? It's always a residential street. All right. Oh, there's somebody in the back. Okay. So they stopped. Oh, the old stop and go. Slow down. Let them get out. Drive away. Get yourself 50 yards of freedom. Last 50 yards of freedom this person's going to have. I'll tell you what. Now what's going to happen? I'm going to watch what happens. Doors open. Didn't even matter. Should have just pulled over. Yeah, they're not even trying to run. Okay, the truck's driving away. Nope. All right. Get her out of the road. She just blocked the vehicle so that they could try to run and escape. Now we're back. I guess they just left that woman on the side of the road. Oh, one. Saw some people getting out. That was the driver. Oh, got some passengers coming out. Look at this. Okay, they're not running. They are not running. Look at all the dogs, those hounds barking. Wow. Oh, and then there's people in the bed. And there's a news crew. Wow. This is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of people. Is that over 10 people? This is wild.
We're still looking for the driver.
Did the driver get away? Nope. No, he didn't. And that's why you should obey the laws of the.
That was a good one to end up. Yeah, Joe, I missed you there after you come in. Yeah, my normal time is 4:35. And appreciate coming in. And Shell, thanks for subbing in tonight for well-deserved day off for Kay. And yep, we'll come in and do a little show tomorrow for an hour. I'll be going to my sister's on Thursday. So yep, we'll say do all the Christmas stuff tomorrow. So God bless everybody. Remember, please hit the like and make sure you sub to the backup channels. It's in the description box what Michelle did. And they say stay strong, keep your faith, and never give up. Signing off, Chico News for tonight, and another night of intel, and the Christmas tree is almost there. Another day or two. And we'll see you tomorrow afternoon for a short show. Bless everybody in the wall. We'll see you tomorrow.